All right, so we are in 3.6. We're going to be talking about hyperbolic functions. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to pause this video, go to Teams, download the handout that you're seeing on the screen, and work through it yourself without watching the videos. That's right. Do it before you watch the videos, and then watch the videos to confirm what you've done. So I'm going to move quickly through this. We spent some time in class letting you guys work on this, but this is just my summary review in case you want to go over it. All right, so we're going to define Cinch, hyperbolic sine, also known as Cinch, and hyperbolic cosine, also known as cosh, as follows. So we define Cinch of x to be e to the x minus e to the minus x over 2. Not so bad. And cosh of x we define to be e to the x plus e to the minus x over 2. So very, very similar functions. Big difference here is the sign. That's the only difference. Okay, so it says using these two definitions in your instinct, write down how you would expect the following functions to be defined. And the key is in terms of Cinch and cosh. A lot of students will write down these nasty formulas like something like this, and that's all fine and it's true actually, but what we're really interested in is defining these in terms of Cinch and cosh. Use sort of your instinct from trig to write those down. So here we go. So tanh you would expect to be Cinch x over cosh x. Guess what? That's what it is. Cosech you would expect to be 1 over Cinch of x, and it is. Sech you would expect to be 1 over cosh of x, and it is. And cotanh you would expect to be 1 over tanh of x, which, by the way, that's just cosh of x over Cinch of x. Okay, so that's the first thing. And by the way, these are all the correct definitions, so you'll need to know these, but you shouldn't have to work hard at all. You just make sure that we know the definitions of Cinch and cosh to be able to work with them. But really, a lot of what we do in this section is not coming back here in the end. We go back to these definitions to develop theory, and then once we've got the theory, we can work from there and do other things. Okay, so here's a graph of Cinch, and it says to look at the formula for Cinch. Let's write it down again. So we know that Cinch of x is what? E to the x, let's scroll up, e to the x minus e to the minus x all over 2. And by the way, you can write that as e to the x over 2 minus e to the minus, or let's say plus minus e to the minus x over 2. So this is actually a sum of two functions, and I want you to identify all three. Hopefully you can see and guess that the Cinch here should be the middle one. It is. E to the x plus 2, that's this one. There's e to the x, I said plus 2 over 2. So here would be 1, but the half scales you down there. This is just an exponential function shooting off to infinity, minus e to the minus x. So e to the minus x does this, minus e to the minus x does that, and then the 2, of course, scales you down. So here's the other part. This curve is exactly this part, and this curve is that part. And now when you add them together, look, when you say right here, this y value plus this y value, they're opposites, so you land right here at 0. But when you say a big y value, subtract a little negative value, you're right there. You can actually see, if you look, how the y value here and the negative y value there, when you combine them, you get this middle part right there. So hopefully that helps you see the graph of Cinch. It's just the addition of two functions, which, by the way, you should feel pretty comfortable with these pieces. All right, so do the same thing for cosh. Well, we know that cosh of x is e to the x plus e to the minus x over 2. So this is e to the x over 2 plus e to the minus x over 2. And so you can see here's e to the x over 2. Here's e to the minus x over 2. And when you add those together, this y value plus this y value, you end up with a little bit more right there. So that's it. You can see how 1 plus 1, or sorry, 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1 going to there, so on and so forth. So this is what the graph of cosh looks like, and I want you to realize that you can actually see it as the sum of two functions. All right, finally, let's look at tanh, and so we'll graph that one, and then we'll break this video here. So what do? Well, we're going to think about Tanch is cinch over cosh. And I've graphed, you can see the cinch. Here's cinch. And you can see cosh. And so now how can we see the quotient? Well, think with me. When I've got this y value is 0 divided by 1 is 0, so tanch is 0 there. And then as these values get closer together, when you divide them, you're going to get something close to 1. So you can see this sort of horizontal asymptotes of 1 happening here. These are similar values, just one is positive, one is negative. So here you're going to get -1 as a horizontal asymptote. Here they're actually getting closer and closer to 1, so you get +1 as a horizontal asymptote. And you can actually see it play out. So I think I'm supposed to be labeling these all along. Whoops, I didn't do that. So this is tanch of x, and of course you should recognize cosh of x, and then there's cinch of x. If we scroll up, right, we can see this is e to the x over 2. This one is e to the minus x over 2, and so of course there's cosh of x. And I think we did enough before that you should be good to go. All right, so let's break this here, and the next video we'll continue.